Welcome to the Tunabudget podcast, your source for insights into financial wellness. Today we're diving into adult children dependency, support by senior parents. At Tunabudget.com, home of the Tunabudget worksheet plan and candid conversation memos, we offer resources that simplify budget life planning. We encourage discussions about real-life challenges affecting our finances. Don't forget to submit your candid conversation memo at Tunabudget.com. Let's get started. Adult children dependency, support by senior parents. A tremendous opportunity awaits everyone here, okay? Presumably and perhaps tacitly so. For economic reasons, adult children may live with or possibly even be partially financially assisted by their senior parents. This may include married couples with or without children for a time. There is a tremendous opportunity for each person in this arrangement to come together and turn this into a wonderful, important, and memorable experience. Life these days is certainly full of challenges, and such arrangements can truly help the overall well-being of all family members and their financial well-being as well. The ideal you or the abusive adult you? Let's start with the adult child in this scenario, the ideal adult you. Maybe you are single or married and a parent too. Maybe you're in school working towards the repayment of student loans or heavily in debt. There are many reasons why your budget is short and you need help. Many adults are living with their parents. It is not all that common anymore. The cost of living is nearly impossible in some areas and the challenges are only increasing. Ideally, you are independent, self-reliant as much as possible, and are certainly a responsible person. You have a strong work ethic, are healthy and honest and frugal, kind, considerate, and employed, right? Hopefully you have a Tunabudget worksheet plan that shows where you're at financially today, so you can see how you got here and where you're going in the near term. Now, Maybe your situation is not ideal, and living with your parents is the last thing you wanted to have happen, right? While you're looking at it from your side, look at it from your parents' perspective for a moment. Most parents will do whatever they can to assist their adult children at any time. They expect you to be successful and self-reliant. While living with them, you are able to be on your best behavior, right? And display your ideal characteristic traits. You are a family, but as an adult, you and your family are still a guest or guests. Nobody should ever experience anyone becoming overbearing or abusive to anyone, especially to a parent. Just like your parents sacrificed so much for you over the years, it would be normal for you to be cooperating with and watching out for your parents and their well-being too, right? As they get a little older, there will likely be numerous ways for you to assist them in an expression of appreciation and love for their willingness to open their place to you and your family. What else can you do for them if you took 2 minutes to look around and observe what's going on? You do know if you are taking unfair advantage of them too, right? That should never be the case, and if it is, stop it. Apologize and fix it immediately. As to abuse, any physical, mental, or emotional abuse of any kind is never to be tolerated, regardless of how you may feel, etc. So we're clear on this, right? Again, it's okay for adult family members to live together. Now, for the senior parents in this scenario, you know that ideally you'd expect for your children to move on as they become adults, but for one reason or another, an adult child, and maybe his family, may now live with you. And for how long? Nobody seems to know, right? All this has come in those sweet senior years where you can spend your own sweetheart time together in the privacy of your own home and elsewhere, but it is what it is. Being such wonderful parents, you have high expectations of your adult children living with you, and you trust that they have a plan to be independent and are working towards that plan with real diligence. Everyone knows the benefits of being independently successful and self-reliant. So much growth comes with it. But sometimes, again, that isn't the way it works out. life and things happen, and being together can be a wonderful opportunity to share and sacrifice together in remarkable ways. It is okay, It is okay for family members to be living together as adults and even with grandchildren. Parents still accept their adult children to be they expect their adult children to be responsible and accountable and self-reliant and independent on their own. That expectation is going to stay there. Parents can always assist from afar without the children having to live with them, but things happen, and when it does, you must find a way to deal with it together, if at all possible. Now, this short ad is sponsored by the Debt Crisis Problem Podcast. Attention listeners, please join us at Tunabudget.com to tune in to the Debt Crisis Problem Podcast, where in plain English we discuss the 20 risks that could soon fuel a serious economic downturn. We explore these critical risks and offer practical insights for navigating financial uncertainty. Join us for thought-provoking discussions that encourage transparency and more awareness. Subscribe now to stay informed and be ready for whatever comes next. A new approach or attitude in offering assistance. Rather than getting tied up in a knot having to either live with or to help support your adult child, you may have to take the opposite approach and do everything you can to properly assist them. In other words, it's all about your attitude. Lead out in this new relationship with genuine love and caring. Let your temporal assistance be freely given, never alone, regardless of the amount of assistance. This new love approach is different than maybe anything you've experienced before because they are no longer children, right? But adults. This is the kind of love that will maybe even surprise you when you think about it. Like, why would you share your resources with a perfectly grown adult child? It isn't supposed to be that way, you say. Maybe even the other way around, you're thinking. But it isn't. Your love is more like compassion, unconditional, quick, forgiving, long-suffering, and friendly. It's the love that usually is not present whatsoever when you're being seriously offended with mean words, unappreciated, or taken advantage of. The sharing of wealth earlier than expected. This is another idea for those situations where folks have resources. So let's fast forward to your senior years, okay? Are there new ways to bless the lives of your adult children that you've heretofore never considered possible? For example, if you've acquired wealth, let's say you decide what wealth is. What do you think about dispensing a material percentage of it to your adult children now or much sooner? Keep enough to live off the rest of your life, right? Of course, but more simply with minimum stuff. Or maybe you could move in with someone else and let your adult child and his family move into the house. Once you capture the spirit or attitude of finding new ways to help your adult children, you never know what these good things. You never know what good things will happen. Frankly, this might just be what even makes it possible for your posterity to gain a foothold in today's world. There's certainly no reason to wait for you to die before you pass along your wealth. Why can't you change things up and share your assets now, especially when they may really need the help? It's worth giving it some serious thought, okay? Let tomorrow take care of itself, more so. Maybe your adult children will want and may be more able to take better care of you. In the last example, do you really need everything good that's stored in your garage and filling your house? If not, what are you waiting for? Good grief, get going. I have a few candid questions for you. If you're an adult child living with or receiving any kind of support from a parent, how does this make you feel? Is there a sense of duty while living with your senior parents, let's say, to do all you can to continue to be independent, responsible, self-reliant, have a strong work ethic, be healthy, be honest, frugal, kind, respectful, considerate? You know what I'm saying. If you're not that way now, what are you willing and desirous to do about it? Do you have a Tuna Budget worksheet plan for the next year or so that shows how you will be self-reliant? If you're a senior parent, have you considered a new mindset to openly love your adult children with more compassion, unconditionality, quick forgiveness, long-suffering, being their friends, and just offering them true kindness? How about realigning your senior parent balance sheet to share away maybe even the bulk of your assets and thereby reduce and simplify your standard of living, giving your posterity an early lift? Finally, or what good could you do for your adult children now from your sharing your assets before you die? Why not do it now? Thank you for joining us. Today we explored adult children dependency, support by senior parents, highlighting the importance of open conversations in financial wellness. We want to hear from you at Tunabudget.com. Submit your candid conversation memo and share your insights. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe for future podcasts. Until next time, visit Tunabudget.com for your free Tuna Budget worksheet plan, the most powerful budget worksheet plan in the world. Yours. Thanks again.